I'm Kevin Coleman with the Side Post, and I am with Melody Young with the Ross Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau. And among many things that are coming up with spring and summer approaching, we have a big week in April.
We do. 7 days and 7 sites. So Ohio's World Heritage Week is going to be celebrated April 12th through the 18th. And on the 12th, they're actually going to do, we're going to kick it off at Fort Ancient, which is in Warren County. They're going to do guided tours at each of the locations throughout the week. So again, Saturday, we're going to kick off at Fort Ancient at 10:30 a.m. Then on Sunday, you can visit the Great Circle Earthworks in Newark. That guided tour is going to start at 2 p.m. And then on Monday, the 14th, we have our very own Hopeton Earthworks. Those free guided tours will start at 10 a.m. Hopeton Earthworks, as we know, is off of Bridge Street. And then on Tuesday the 15th, we're going to be out at Hopewell Mound Group, again starting at 10 a.m. for a guided tour. On Wednesday the 16th, we're going to be at Sipe Earthworks, free guided tour starting at 10 a.m.
Out near Bainbridge?
Out near Bainbridge, right by Paint Valley High School. I think your alma mater, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And then Thursday the 17th, we're going to be at Mound City, free guided tour starting at 10 a.m. And then we're going to wrap up the week Friday the 18th at the Octagon Earthworks. We're going to do a twilight tour there starting at 5. There is going to be a TED Talk starting at 4:30. That I'm actually going to be a part of, and some other partners to talk about World Heritage. And we'll be wrapping up a little at about 7:30 that evening.
And
so
this is
a whole week's worth of activities.
And all free?
All free and open to the public.
So this is a good opportunity to get familiar with all these sites.
Get familiar with the sites, talk to the rangers, talk to the people whose feet are on the ground every day, and learning more and more every day about these earthworks. So it's going to be an exciting week around here. So we really encourage people to come out and visit.
And it's important to note that 5 sites are in Ross County, but 3 are elsewhere.
Yes, we have, it's a serial nomination. There's 8 total sites, 5 here locally, 2 in Newark, and 1 in Fort Ancient is down in Warren County, down by Lebanon.
I need to get out there myself sometime.
Yes, they have a great educational center in Warren County.
The it's been a year and a half since the listing.
September of 23.
So there have been great promises of tourism, rising numbers, international visitation. How has it been since the listing?
We have seen definitely a rise in visitors. So both at the sites and here locally at our lodging facilities. Haven't seen a ton of international visitors yet. I actually had 3 groups booked this year from Canada, and unfortunately they had to cancel their trips this year. So we're hoping to get them back on the books in the future.
But there is definitely, you can see
we can see a trend. We can see our website that we're getting much more traffic from the international visitors.
And only the promise of more.
Hopefully the promise of more.
Any expansions, additions to the parks, accents to the Hopewell?
So with, I know our park service is working on more signage for their trails, trying to get some more interpretive signage out there so people understand what these sites are. Ohio History Connection is working on a visitor center at the Octagon in Newark. And since they just became back as the leasee of that property. And then we, of course, here are working on a new regional welcome center, and we will have an expanded exhibit for all of the 8 sites.
And that will be back closer to the downtown?
It will.
On Bridge Street?
Yes, it will be in the park area someplace. We're working on that right now.
Any chance we could get a bridge from the hotels to Yuctangi Park?
We'd love that. Trust me, we would love that. I think I'd first want to get a bridge from Hopeton over to Mound City.
Well, I asked ODOT the possibility of putting some sort of pedestrian walkway under the US 35 bridge. And they said, probably not. And I forget who gave me the idea, but I like that idea.
You like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to connect Ridge Street more with downtown.
I was going to ask you wayfinding. How has that been going?
As most of you probably have already seen, the last monument sign was installed on 23 South, just across from Medina Health Systems. We're still waiting on the base of that to get finished, but the sign is up. The last sign we're working on, and we're doing this with the city to try to get the Chillicothe over 104 at that walking bridge.
So the sunburst?
We are sort of struggling with a horizontal wind speed load. So we're working with some engineers to try to get that worked out so we can get that. It might not have the sun burst, but it probably will at least say Chillicothe.
Okay. Well, that will make it very distinctive.
Absolutely. It'll be great. That's visible as you cross 35. So like, oh, maybe I do need to go to that historic little town.
Okay. Any response on the wayfinding?
Actually, everything has been very positive. I just had a business reach out to me and they're like, who did those signs? Because I have another community that wants to do signs and they want the quality that you have. So that's always a flatter that another community wants to duplicate what we've done.
And that's helped give a little more, not identity, but...
more pride. That's what I would say. It gives people a sense of pride.
All the small towns in the county and the county limits.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else big coming up?
Well, I mean, this is going to be a busy spring. So we have the 25th anniversary of Earth Gathering coming up in April. Of course, we have the Feast of the Flowering Moon, the end of May. We have Kenworth Truck Parade coming up in June. We have Southern Ohio Force Rally coming up in June. Tour of the Scioto Valley is going to do more of a festival type event this year. So it used to be considered the Mother's Day run. They're actually going to be, they're going to drive from Columbus, they're going to ride their bikes from Columbus to our park and do more of a festival here opposed to going on down to Portsmouth this year.
Okay, and that is back to Mother's Day?
No, it's actually going to be May 16th and 17th.
But spring again instead of September?
Yes, instead of September.
Okay, that'll be different.
So, yep, excited to see them back and a bigger presence here in Chillicothe. So you can always visit our website at visitchillicotheohio.com to see the community calendar of events. We also have an app you can download on Google or Apple Play. Just visit Chillicothe, Ohio.
And you have a Facebook page where you have live videos and...
We do. Last week we were out at Frankfort and did the Frankfort Hardware. We try to choose different places around the county to make sure everyone knows what's out there.
All right. And those are the two best ways to learn about what's happening?
Yes, definitely website and the app, I would say, is our two best resources.
All right. And is there a good site to learn more about the World Heritage?
Yes, so you can actually go to Hopewell ceremonialearthworks.com. Hopewell, you can also visit hopewellearthworks.org, or you can find that directly from our site.
And I know there's several websites that talk about World Heritage and the Hopewell and the Earthworks and such.
There is.
All right. Well, Melody Young, Chair, CEO,
Executive Director
of the Ross Chillicothe Convention Visitors Bureau.
Very good. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.